Welcome to the Hoop Hysteria channel. In today's video, we're diving into the Warriors' performance this season and what to expect next year. It's a tough reality. The Warriors never got Steph Curry back for Game 6, and they fell to a young Timberwolves team on the road, their hopes of replicating the 2022 championship magic fading into thin air. Let's be honest, without Curry, Golden State was outclassed. You can't ask 35-year-old Jimmy Butler to carry the team like a superhero every night, especially when the other side has a star like Anthony Edwards. And let's not forget, since Butler bragged about dropping 40 points like it's nothing, he hasn't delivered a single 40 performance. Time catches up with everyone, but Butler stayed defiant in his post-game interview, declaring he can't wait to spend a full season with this team. His message had three layers. One showing loyalty to the franchise and wanting to stay long-term. To blaming part of the failure on lack of chemistry, arguing a full season together would build better cohesion. 3. Expressing quiet confidence in the roster's potential. Still, Warriors fans are skeptical. Can a core of Curry, Butler, Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga, and role players like Podziemski and Moses Moody really compete for a title? The gap is real. If Kuminga insists on a max contract and owner Joe Lacob wants to capitalize on Curry's remaining prime, the Warriors must make moves. Current state, draft. They hold a 41st pick via Heat in June's draft but no first rounder. Free agency. Kuminga is a restricted free agent RFA. Gary Payton II and Kevin Looney are unrestricted. Post-Butler impact. Before his trade, the Warriors were 12-18 in their first 30 games, bottom 10 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. After the trade, the starting lineup of Curry, Podziemski, Moody, Butler, and Green went 16-3 in the regular season, outscoring opponents by 17.9 points per 100 possessions, with all 5 under contract for next season. Key needs: 1 Ampere. Reliable third scorer. Curry's absence exposed the lack of a consistent secondary option. 2 Frontcourt size. The Warriors ranked 27th in paint points per game in the playoffs, a glaring weakness. Off-season strategy assets. For future first-round picks 2026, 2028, 2030, 2032. The 2030 pick is top 20 protected via the Wizards and picks. Salary challenges. Curry, Butler, and Green account for 85% of the cap. Kuminga's RFA status is make or break, offering a $7.9 million qualifying offer keeps him controllable. If he leaves, Golden State gets under the tax line but loses a young asset. Trade targets. Rumors swirl around stars like Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo. A Curry-Giannis pairing sounds dreamy, but the Warriors lack obvious trade chips that don't involve Draymond, whose defensive value is irreplaceable. Coaching expectations. Steve Kerr didn't hold back after the loss, putting pressure on GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. I trust him to assess our needs and get us right this summer. Dunleavy has earned praise over 2 years cleaning cap space, trading for Butler, and avoiding the second tax apron. Now, he must leverage Curry's dwindling prime. The Kuminga conundrum. Kuminga started 56 games over 2 seasons, averaging 15 points, but his role shrunk in the playoffs. Lineups with him, Butler, and Draymond were disastrous, 28 points a net rating, though he stepped up versus Minnesota 20 point for PPG, 50% shooting. The Nets are the only team likely to offer him over $20 million. The Warriors can match, but a sign-and trade might be the best outcome for both sides. Bottom line, the Warriors' championship window hinges on Dunleavy's off-season moves. With Curry chasing a 5th ring and Butler's arrival buying them a few more years, the pressure is on to add size and scoring without dismantling the core. Will they swing for a star or bet on internal growth? One thing's clear, this offseason could define Curry's legacy. Stay tuned, Hoop fans, this is going to be a wild ride. Drawing from Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s bold 2020 for plans and his mid-season trade for Jimmy Butler, it's clear the Warriors GM will aggressively pursue blockbuster targets in the trade market. After all, no risk, no reward. Reviewing his moves over the past 2 years, every decision has been calculated and purpose-driven. In the 2023-24 season, Golden State paid over $100 million in luxury tax but missed the playoffs, becoming a punchline. Yet, from an operational standpoint, Dunleavy's moves were hard to criticize. Taking over a mess from Bob Myers, he traded Jordan Poole, a prospect he scouted, for Chris Paul, drafted Brandon Podziemski and Trace Jackson Davis TJD. Podziemski led the Warriors with a plus 260 for plus-minus and made the all-rookie team. TJD became a rotation surprise, narrowly missing all-rookie honors. Paul's second unit ranked third in scoring and fifth in plus-minus. The real issues: Draymond Green's to suspensions and slumps from Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins. In the 2024 offseason, Dunleavy's mandate was to upgrade while cutting costs. He waived Paul to use the full mid-level exception, orchestrated a 6-team sign-and trade to send Thompson to Dallas for Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield, and signed Melton with the mid-level. After losing assistant coaches, he hired Jerry Stackhouse via personal connections and Nate McMillan, both widely respected. Injuries derailed plans: Melton's knee injury and Gary Payton's struggles forced a Schroeder trade that underperformed, leading Dunleavy to gamble on Butler, which reignited the team's playoff push. The boldest gambit: a 2024 summer plan to land Paul George and Lauri Markkanen. As a former Pacers teammate of George, Dunleavy rallied Curry, Green, and Kerr in LA to recruit George, who was open to joining. With Markkanen on a team-friendly $18 million deal, the plan was seamless until the Clippers refused to trade George, who signed with Philly. Without George, acquiring Markkanen seemed too costly. Trading away all future assets for a good but not great team isn't wise, Kerr noted, reflecting Dunleavy's balance of aggression and pragmatism. This strategy earned him his first Executive of the Year votes in 2025, up from 0 the prior year. Dunleavy's radar has included stars like Karl Anthony Towns and Kevin Durant. The Warriors pursued Towns in 2024, but Timberwolves preferred New York's package. Mid-season KD talks stalled due to the Stars' reluctance to move mid-year. Critics call them hesitant, but from Golden State's angle, they refuse to overpay. Lessons learned from the Durant era, where half the roster was sacrificed. "We'll go all in for the right player," owner Joe Lacob insists. Enter 2025, a crossroads. If earlier reluctance to trade Podziemski, Moody, or Kuminga stemmed from hopes they'd become core pieces, their value will now be re-evaluated, especially Kuminga, facing a contract year. Post-Butler, Dunleavy could play it safe, using picks to add shooting and depth as Indiana and OKC did, but his history suggests bold moves remain priority. With the 2025-26 luxury tax rules tightening, more stars may hit the market. Rumors link Giannis Antetokounmpo, who partied with Curry at All-Star Weekend and shares his agency to the Warriors. Financially, Golden State can afford him. Despite a $100 million tax bill and first-round exit in 2024, they still profited $155 million, third in the league. This season's tax bill is just $15.4 million, with playoff revenue pushing profits toward $100 million. Dunleavy's Bucks connections and for future first-round picks plus swaps give them a seat at the table, even if OKC, San Antonio have better assets. If Giannis stays put, dominoes could still fall. Other stars may become available, and the Warriors will pounce. "We are only focused on winning," Lacob states. "We haven't landed our whale yet, but the ocean's big." Will 2025 finally bring the Warriors' dream acquisition? Dunleavy's magic will be tested, but one thing's certain: this offseason could define the franchise's post-Curry era. Stay tuned.